So a friend of mine asked me the other day, and she was like, I saw your post that you made about narcissists being abusive when a person is pregnant, and that I didn't really realize that that was a thing, because that has happened to me. And I have a friend who is married to exactly who you've described, and she said the exact same thing. But as you now said it, and I realized that, wait though, so this is a thing. So she was calling me to ask me, and as she said it, in my mind, I'm like, are you serious? So this girl doesn't know. And it makes me realize that people don't actually know. Listen, one thing I need most people to know is that a lot of times women don't know that they are being abused, because guess what? It's a pattern of behavior that we have in our like society and community. And a lot of times, if it's happening, you can speak to maybe your mother or family, and they're telling you, yeah, it's normal now, it's normal. This person husband, your own is even better, self. Your own is better. Now just this person husband in the naked arm, in the commoting clothes. So by the time they tell you that things are, everybody just they package their own. So you now be like, oh, okay. They don't know. They might even tell you, this one where they buy you, this one where they buy. So you even be thinking that, it's okay now. It's me. Maybe I annoyed the person. That's why the person, just sick. The way that we reason is so sick, around things like domestic abuse. Like, people can go years. They still will be paying them. They'll be going through all sorts of financial abuse, sexual abuse. You have a man that you will give birth to a baby. You still have a episiotomy. They've torn you. You're still, the person is upset. You don't want to sleep with me. Are you kidding? And maybe you're saying, I'm still in pain. Person stomping about, angry. Like a beast. An abusive man is a beast. Like a beast. So I guess why I know is because as I was observing all these behaviors, I was doing a lot of research. I was looking into it. I was reading a lot. Because it was so many things. Some people might look at the situation and be like, oh, but you can manage somebody who is keeping malice. You can manage this. You can manage somebody who is controlling. You can manage. It's not just manage. It's all of these things happening at the same time. There's no breathing space. You turn here, this one done here. It's like you can't even breathe. So it's like it's all around you. It's all awash. You're awash. You're awash in their yama. So I wanted to talk about that and talk about the fact that yes, it's a thing. An abusive person. I don't know if I should say an abusive man or a narcissist, because it's almost like it's interchangeable. But I feel like what separates the narcissist to just a regular abusive man is that the narcissist they don't have empathy. There's an inability to even look within themselves. I feel like someone who is just abusive can actually, over time with therapy, or when they've been accosted, they can actually begin to think, oh, my pattern of behavior is actually bad. And they can start saying, okay, they have abuse groups, just the same way you have all these Alcoholic Anonymous and all these things. They have places here where you have abusive men who come together. They begin to meet together. They begin to talk. They have discussions around their behaviors. You see them before you know what's happening. You just need to be open. If you attend, as you're attending, you see some of them begin to loosen up. They begin to talk about, they begin to discuss. Actually, there was one time when she did something, and I just did her like that. I wanted her to be afraid. They begin to talk, and then the person facilitating, they have a facilitator that now start asking questions like, so why do you think you needed to make her afraid of you? You see them talking. Some will be like, I just wanted her to be afraid of me because I feel like that's what it means to be a man. Like, they have these discussions, and in the process of having these discussions, they're beginning to think and be like, oh, this is why I behave the way I behave. Because now, as the facilitator is asking those questions, they're now thinking about it. Actually, why do I want her to fear me? Because I feel like that's what a man should be. A man should be feared. So it's like they're having these conversations are the things that now make you start beginning to be self-aware. You're like, oh, okay, this was why I was acting that way. That's the whole point. But a lot of narcissists, it's so hard to get to the point where in fact, they don't even accept that they have abused you. The slap that's just that slap. In fact, they will deny everything. They will deny everything. They will deny. It's like a magician, like I said before. And that is the difficulty. The difficulty is that you can't heal something that the person self has not even realized that they have a problem, because they're still so focused on lying. So anyway, what I was talking about the pregnancy and narcissism is, you notice that if you're at any point where you're pregnant, the abuse becomes times 10. They make life so hard. You know, life normally is hard with them, but at that pregnancy period, is like, that's when there's a whole lot of hassle. So many things will happen. If they're not physically abusive, they're emotionally abusive, they're mentally abusive. I don't even know. Sometimes you wonder, is this a spiritual problem? Or you wonder, is it a coincidence? It's not a coincidence, because I thought it was a coincidence until I read other people's stories, and I read, it's like you're in your weakest state, your most vulnerable state, and that state, I think it brings out, I don't even know, because what I grew up knowing was that when you're at that, your most vulnerable state is when, you know, a man is so caring and cuddling, and that's the whole thing about abuse, is like so sick, because where you're expecting to be pampered, what you then get is something that is so satanic and demonic, and you're like, it's just so weird, it's just so sick. And I just wanted to talk about that, because so it's a thing. So if you're pregnant, or you've been pregnant, and you notice that this person, once you become pregnant, you're probably with a narcissist and abusive person, please don't have any more children with this person. Stop. There's nothing like, oh, I want all my children to have one father. There's nothing wrong for you to have to come out of that place or that marriage, and if God willing and God gives you another husband, there's nothing wrong in you having another husband and having a child. Like, why must it be with this? It's like you have a beast, then you're giving the beast children. You think that the babies that you're giving them will make them more humane? I'm telling you that these are people that will leave their children, they abandon their children years ago, and they will not even talk to them, because they're trying to hurt you. That's the person you want to father all of your children. No, now, if you notice that the person is a narcissist, one child, let's say by mistake you had one child, please leave. Leave. Don't worry. I used to think like that. I used to think like, oh, I want all my children to have one father. Your children don't need to have one father. They don't need to have, and I know that this is, I'm talking, is like a sacrilege. Hey, our Igbo people, we don't do like that. Listen, no, don't mind these people, no. Because if the person, he has a fault in their behavior, the person is sick in their behavior, like a narcissist, and you can't give them more than one child, you're stuck. Oh, your stock is a stock that is really your stock is a stock that is really stuck, because you will need God. That's what I'm going to say. You will really need God for the waka. Do you understand? You will really need God. But please don't give them any more children. If you've noticed that this person is a narcissist, if it's just one child you have, console yourself with that child and leave. And if God brings another person to be a good man and a husband to you, please move on. Have your children with a good man, and let that man be a stepfather to your children, please. All right, so I just want to talk about that. Stay blessed. And I know some of my words have been a bit shocking, especially around the whole children and having children for different fathers. I'm talking about in a marital setting. No, I did not say you should go and be baby mama and having children. No, I said in a marital, if God brings you another person to be a husband, you don't need to have all your children with a monster. And there's nothing making you or telling you that you must have, all your children must have one father. All these things are traditional things that we use in caging women and not allowing them to even, I beg, sorry, let me not go too much into all of that. But yeah, stay blessed. Bye. If it's having issues, if it's giving you trouble every time you're pregnant, you're probably with a narcissist and abusive man, please stop having children and leave that person alone whenever the opportunity arises for you to go. All right, stay blessed. Bye.
Hey guys, so if you are in a marriage that is tumultuous and you just don't understand what you're experiencing a lot of pain, there's just a lot of oppression and suppression going on, and you're just not sure of what it is that you're actually experiencing, here are two books I would recommend that you read. One is Why Does He Do That by Lundy Bancroft, and the other one is Enough is Enough by David Clark. All right, bye.